I was feeling stuck. I can tell that my family was missing something. Now, last year, we got to travel, or the past couple of years, we were able to travel up and down the West Coast, go to Tahoe, Los Angeles, Universal Studios, Disneyland, and so on. Last year, we took a big road trip up and down the coast. And actually, Highway 5, Interstate Highway 5. And we went up to Portland, say hi to some friends, go up to Seattle to say hello to my in-laws, my brother-in-law and his wife. That was cool, but I don't think I'm going to drive that again. I'm not going to drive anymore. It's too long, getting too old, and driving that, no, I'm good. But I was feeling stuck around June or July when we got back. It was all good. It was all fun. But I know we needed to go bigger. Since the pandemic, we had changed jobs, found new jobs, quit jobs. Jobs were toxic for ourselves. We needed to do new things. We were able to find new careers or new jobs in our teaching career. And we were able to save and invest a little bit so our money was growing. But you know me, as I always prefer to have family experiences. Personal and family experiences are more important than having a big, large retirement fund. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have $5 million in our bank account, but that's not going to happen. So I really wanted to do a big trip somewhere. This I knew would take a lot of money. I knew that it would eat in our savings a bit. We would have to pause things a little bit. But my boys are getting older. I'm getting older. My boys are now, one's a teen, one is a preteen. And 5 years ago, 2019 or so, before the pandemic happened, they were still kids. But now 5 years gone so fast. 4 years ago, right? 4 years ago, we were in the pandemic. But it just showed me again, like, boom, we needed to get out, do something else, experience a different culture, a different way of life. And I know we had to fly somewhere. And when flying for vacation, that costs money. Now, the last time we flew was back in 2015, when my boys were 4 and 2. They were young and had to carry their car seats. Each one of them had needed a car seat. So we had to bring them on the plane so they can sit on them inside the plane, the cabin. But lugging them back and forth was just a lot. But now they can actually carry their own bags. Thank goodness. So a year ago, and I'm going around taking a long time for this, I made a point. You know what? Let's go to Japan. I think when I first said that to my wife, she was kind of like, wait, what? That's expensive. That's the immediate thought. That's my immediate thought. My boys were like kind of ambivalent about it. It was kind of far. You know, I was planning this for a year, for summer 2024. But if we needed to get there in summer 2024, we needed a plan. We need to give ourselves a year of planning and preparing. We needed to set aside a budget for this. And just not to get there, because flying is expensive, but staying in hotels and also eating right? And all the other events and other places to visit, museums and so on, they all cost money. And we all know seafood is expensive. But we had to think of ways to make it work. And the way we did that is that we needed to create a budget. Okay. Now we're lucky enough to have some monies that we keep in our high yield savings account. It's great, by the way. We got out of the traditional banking industry because they're not even giving us a full percentage point, right? But if you have a chance, look into saving your money in a high yield savings account. Now, a lot of those high yield savings accounts are online. So you have to do banking online. There are no ATMs. There are no banking locations that you can go, but there are ATM friendly high yield savings accounts, HYSA, HSA ATMs that are friendly, and they work with your high yield savings account. And they will give you it matches about, I guess, the interest rate about 4 to 5% ish, maybe 4-5%, somewhere there right now. So that helped us a lot. Also, a big thing is that I had to take care of my passport, my paperwork. I mentioned before that it's such a big headache for myself. I knew back in, I guess, 2020, 2021, I knew then already, just by looking forward, I knew my passport, which was already expired by then. I think I did it 2005, and I knew it expired 2015. And did I need to renew it then? But around 2020, I already knew that I needed to take care of it. And I didn't take care of it because I knew it would take a lot of paperwork, a lot of follow-up, because there was a mix-up between my name. I'm a junior. My dad's name originally was Wilfredo. Okay, so I was born a Wilfredo. And then when I was born here in Michigan, my dad was in the Philippines. And then he decided to change his name to Wilfred. I still stayed Wilfredo. And then when we came to California, he changed it to Fred, because he was known as Fred, just like me. So my birth certificate was Wilfredo. My birth certificate is Wilfredo. My baptismal, or I don't know what he said. My baptism certificate was Wilfredo. And then when we came to the United States and California, because my parents lived in Canada before then, my dad changed his name to Fred legally. So he changed his name and his Social Security. My Social Security was also Wilfredo. And my school, when they enrolled me into schools in San Francisco, my name was Fred. My dad was all set with his stuff, but they neglected or forgotten. I'm not sure what my mom said, but I had to take care of that. It was all, I think, basically 3 names: Wilfredo, Wilfred, and Fred. My Social Security, my driver's license, my passport, my expired passport, they're all different. So I had to prove myself to the state of Michigan, to San Francisco Unified School District, to DMV. Who else? I had to prepare? I had to prove myself, my name, and who I was. My Social Security also. I had to take care of all of that. I had to make sure they all match. So I had to take care of that first. So in 2023, I was able to get that going. or actually 2022, get that going. Because I know it took a while, because I knew that since the pandemic, there was a flood of people traveling and getting their passports. So in 2023, when all went down, after getting all my stuff done, it took about 6-7 months of stuff, all my paperwork to be done, that we then, in June 2023, we applied for our passports and we expedited them, because I knew it was hard to get. It's so hard last year to get it, that the closest place to get my passport, to go to an office, to get a reservation, was up in Reno. Remember, I'm in Sacramento right now. But we had to go all the way to Reno. That was just too much. No way. I don't know when, maybe a couple weeks later, a couple months later, I think my sister and I were talking about this whole situation, and then I just took a chance looking into the United States, the Department of State's passport online reservations. And, my God, there was an opening only about 5 minutes away from our house. And it was about maybe a month out, but I took it. So we got our passports all set. My boys, my wives, mine. We're all ready to go. So, to make a long story short, yes, get your paperwork set. Double check. Because, going to other countries around the world, if you haven't done so lately, you need to make sure you're set. Then we also got the TSA. My wife, she recommended we get the TSA, so she got it first, and then I got it. There's also global entry, but we didn't need that. But that's another option. And I think there's Clear. There's something called Clear, where these organizations, or these organizations, they help you go through airport security much faster. You have to vet yourself in person in these certain places, and they make sure you're the right person. You get to pass a background check and so on. We did a TSA, and it really helped. It did really help. So we schemed, we saved, we planned, and around, I guess, March. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this since last summer. So it started getting more real, around December. And by then, we were already watching a lot of videos, YouTube videos. And Japan, we wanted to go to Tokyo, obviously. But we had to decide, is it going to be Tokyo Narita Airport or Tokyo Haneda Airport? Tokyo Narita is about an hour away. We took a limo bus. And it's a cheaper option. Yes, you can take the subway, but there's no way we're going to sit down in a 9-hour flight plus another hour or so in immigration or customs, and then coming in to downtown Tokyo on the subway. No way, because we would hit commuting time. And we're going to talk about that in a bit in the next episode. We also decided what airlines we're going to take. We're looking at the Zip Air, owned by, I think, All Nippon Airlines, or is it Japan Airlines. But Zip Air is the economy version of Japan Airlines. It's like Spirit. But we decided not to go that way because to give us a peace of mind, we can cancel or reschedule without any penalty. So Zip Air has a penalty, or you don't get refunded if you need to cancel. Say if you got sick, and we were sick in March, April, and I knew our trip was coming, and thank goodness we had a peace of mind that we can cancel if we needed to. So we took All Nippon Airlines, or ANA Airlines. Great airlines. So yeah, we had the budget. Now, how much were the plane tickets? It's about $7,000. Okay. Now, before that, last year, we applied for a Chase Preferred Sapphire card. I don't like credit cards. And that was one thing that screwed me up when I was in my 20s and 30s, paying for it for a long time. But we matured and we used Chase Sapphire Preferred card for the points, because that is probably the best, at least starter credit card you can get. You can use your points for travel, which is great. It's an awesome card. So I've been using that. So we got that. I think they gave us an initial 40,000 miles on it, points or so, whatever you call it. And then we've been using it to gain more miles. So we use that to pay for our flight. So we were all ready to go. All we needed to do was get on the plane, rent it out, and get ready for Japan. More on that on the next episode.